back to the Groomsman. I'll be your host, Jonathan. Today it's just a shave. Nothing's new on this shave. Everything I've used before and reviewed before on channel. This is Verte by Ariane and Evans in the K2E base, which is one of my favorite bases. I like all the Kaizen bases. It's kind of hard to explain how they differ from the new Ultima base, but I'd say the Ultima base is much thicker. Like the lather that it produces is very, very thick. This is a little bit more, I don't want to say traditional because K2E stands out for me. It's one of my favorite bases. But anyways, I love this scent. This is the second tub I've gotten of this, which I can't really say for any other soap. I use a lot. I think it's because I have too many, so it's hard for me to get through a bunch of them. But I really like this one, and I ended up using the entirety of the first one I had, which was in Kaizen base, and then I got this one in K2E. I really like it. It took me a while to get used to to really appreciate it because I wasn't sure what it was going to be like. I wanted an orangey primary scent, which this is very much an orange primary scent, but it's got some other stuff going on there. It's got like a powdery note to it that admittedly threw me off at first, but I've come to really like that powdery note. And then it's got a bit of a green in the base too. I'm not sure, I can't remember what it is. But it's like really, really bright citrusy orange, that nice powdery note, and then a bit of green something there in the base. And I dig it. I like it. I've been using it a lot. I use it consistently. Got it all lathered up here with my Panta Ray brush. Let me check out that lather. I almost put too much water in there. It's like super hydrated, super shiny, very wet looking. I don't have any pre-shave. I haven't shaved in like, I don't know, 6 days? I'm lazy this week. It's been hard. I've been on that early shift. Not a morning person. It's been hard for me to drag my butt out of bed to work, much less drag my butt out of bed early enough to shave. But it's my Friday today. I have every other Friday off, so my Thursday into my week. Going into the weekend, I'm excited about that. Last day of work, excited about that. Been just hanging out at the house. My family's been visiting other family. Wife and kids out visiting their Mimi. While I've been home working and kind of doing chores and hitting some stuff on the list that I've been wanting to do for a while, but are kind of hard to do with all the kids around. Cleaning all the carpets, which is a lot easier to do when you don't have anybody walking on them and they can dry appropriately. I love this soap base. So good. It smells so good. Alright, so for the razor I'm using, again, I said nothing new today. This is although I haven't used it in a while, the Rex Ambassador. This is the standard DE version. They have the slanted version, the console available. I don't have that one anymore. I passed that one on. I just kept the Ambassador. I have it set at like a 2, just shy of a 3, 2 3/4. And you can kind of stop it wherever you want. Yeah, that's how I like it. I'm not much of a blade feel kind of a guy, so I don't run it wide open. I did a video a while back where I used it on setting 1 just to like prove a point. I've got a Rapira super stainless in there. I will say this razor is a little bit different in that, like, riding the cap doesn't work as well. It's more riding the bar, which is kind of an odd. But somebody gave me that back in the day when I first got this and I wasn't sure about it. And the advice, it might have been Fayez actually. The advice was ride the guard. And it works well for this razor. Something about the geometry. I mean, you can ride the cap, but you kind of lose blade feel kind of quick, I feel like. It doesn't really, it wants to engage when you're riding on that bar. This is very nice so far. I remember it being a little bit more blade forward, but like I said, it's been a while since I pulled this one out. I know some of the original Rex ambassadors, like the first 1 or 2 year groups when they were manufacturing, were a little bit different. Matt's talked about it in his videos before, where he made it a little too aggressive. And the feedback he got after those initial releases were that it was very, very blade forward. And except for the people that really like that kind of thing, it turned off a lot of people. And so he made some adjustments and then re-released out a second version. He didn't like name it like version 2 or anything. I think you just have to look at he date codes his razors with the same date code as Gillette. So year and quarter. So it's got like a 0, so this is 7533 R2. So second quarter, whatever year R was. And I don't remember what year he started making these, but those first, I think 2 year groups were the ones that were a little more aggressive. Or a little more blade forward, I guess is the right word. It's actually been a really smooth pass. Even though it's so smooth, I'm not even tempted a little bit to bump up the adjustment dial there. Even with, you know, a week or nearly a week's worth of growth, this is still less than a 3 able to knock down that beard, so I don't think it's necessary. To run that like high level. Just my technique. Everyone's got their own way of running adjustables. I guess there's kind of 3 ways you could do it. You do it the way I do it most of the time is I just pick a setting and I sit there. You know, the purpose of an adjustable to me is that it's not a one size fit all. Instead of having, you know, just one fixed setting, it makes it so multiple people could pick it up, find the setting that works best for them and use it. I don't feel that means you have to adjust it mid-shave. You can, and that's kind of like the second method is to adjust it mid-shave. Some people will start out on a higher setting to knock down that first big heavy growth or that first big pass. And so they'll bump it up all the way, maybe like 6. And then on the second pass, maybe they'll bring it down to a 4. And then on the last pass against the grain, they'll bring it down to a 2. I'm just throwing random numbers out there. But they do a progression down the adjustment dial. And then I know Fayez was talking recently, he was using the Ambassador. And I've heard other people say this too, where they progress the other way, where they start out with a lower setting and they progress to a higher setting and they end up on the highest setting on the last pass to ensure the closest shave. But then they're still not using the highest pass for all 3 shaves, so it reduces chances of irritation. Definitely an interesting way to do it. I've not tried to do it that way. I've tried to do the downward progression from a high adjustment to a lower. It was good. I mean, it was fine when I did that. I kind of push the skin over with my Adam's apple so it's over to one side. You guys haven't watched these videos before. And then on the other side of my neck, and I let it go, it's a little bit more, instead of being in the middle, it's a little more over one side. And then when I do the same thing on the opposite, That way I'm not having to shave directly over my Adam's apple. And I don't remember where I got that trick from. Some other YouTuber. It was smart though, and I liked it. So very smooth. I do really like these Rapiras. I don't like all the Rapiras. I can't say they're all winners. I know a lot of people put a lot of stock or have very good feelings about the Rapira Platinum Luxe. They had a certain vogue in some of the Facebook groups for a while there, like a year or two ago. And I tried a set. I don't remember where I got them from. Somebody sent me a tusk or something. Or maybe I had like a sample pack that had them in there. Anyways, I tried it. Didn't care for them. Didn't see what all the fuss was about. But I do really like these super stainless that come in the pink, kind of the blue and pink package. Super stainless. Because they're little, these are 10 packs instead of 5 packs like most of them. Not that it matters, but. The Swedish Super Steel are good too. But I really like the super stainless ones a little better. I got a few blades that I kind of usually use. The Rapira super stainless, the modern Schicks that are made in Germany, the 7 o'clock blacks. I think they're super platinums, the black ones. I think those are made in India. Those are the main ones I use. I have a couple of vintage Schicks that I use as well, some super platinum Schicks. And I have some super stainless as well, but not as many. Then I have a whole bunch of other blades too, but those are the ones that I normally reach for, the primary. Still on that setting, whatever, 2 3/4. This has been a really good shave. Really, really good. I've always really liked the Ambassador. It's made a lot of my top 5 or top 10 razor lists. I think really it's got a lot of really good qualities. It's an adjustable, so it's, theoretically anyone should be able to pick it up and find a setting they like. The knurling on this handle, well, it's kind of utilitarian-ish. It's not very super aesthetically pleasing. I do like it, to be clear, but it's not like the console knob with the diamond knurling looked visually more appealing. But the square knurling on this handle is the grippiest knurling on any handle I've ever used. Across any razor. It's super grippy. Which is pretty awesome. You can take almost all of it apart and clean it out, and the handle's hollow, so you could rinse water through there, so nothing's gonna get stuck. It's numbered, it's date coded. The laser etching is really clear, and some of those ones where you get, it's kind of a nitpicky thing. I remember I tried the Osprey when it first came out, and that was one of the things that kind of bugged me, was the etching for the adjustable numbers was so faint that you could barely see it. It was just very, very, very finely, it wasn't very deep at all for the etching. It was very fine, which is one decision. And the other decision was that they weren't really painted over, or they were, but it was very light, and it was just, I'm sure they were going for something there, but I'm not sure what. I didn't really care that it was so understated on the adjustment numbers. I know they changed that on the whatever version they're on right now. They tweaked some stuff on it to make it easier to see. I guess they got a lot of reviews from older gentlemen that had a hard time seeing it and people that have glasses. I wear glasses most of the time. I can still see these numbers just fine. I don't normally wear my glasses when I'm shaving, obviously. I think a lot of guys don't, but some of the older gentlemen that have worse eyes than I do, were that was one of the reviews, is I had to put on my glasses or whatever to be able to see the numbers because they were so faint. Anyways, I didn't mean to make this a critique of another razor. All that was to say that I really like the numbering on this razor. But getting back to the one kind of negative thing about it is I have found, like I said, I haven't used this in a while. It's been kind of sitting on my shelf. But I found that I couldn't use this as a daily driver. I've kind of migrated away from shaving every day like I used to. It's not necessary for work that I shave every day. Some days I don't. And lately it's been a little bit more on the I don't side. But when I did shave every day, I did try to use this as an everyday shaver because it is very, very efficient. I found I was getting, there's like a level of BBS, and then there's the level of a BBS you get with the Ambassador. I always felt that I got like the smoothest cheeks, the smoothest neck, like the longest lasting BBS. I don't normally time it. I know some people are like, oh, I got a 12-hour BBS or an 18-hour BBS or whatever. I don't put that much effort into it, but I did notice that the shave I got with this did last longer before I started getting, whiskers at the end of the day. That being said, I think that might have been part of why it didn't work for me as a daily driver, because there was less and less to shave on a daily basis. And it's a bit blade forward. I found that I was getting more irritation as I got that one little weeper right there. It doesn't hurt at all. Other than that, it's been a really good shave. I don't feel like I have a lot of irritation, but there's multiple days in a row of using it. I found it was kind of like thinning out my skin because it's so efficient. And then I was getting a lot of irritation. That's just my experience. I know not everyone has that experience. My skin's a little bit different than everyone else's. That's the shave. Pretty good. That's pretty awesome. Actually, it was a lot better than I thought it was. I don't know why. I was a little bit worried about getting irritation for some reason, but that's a little, I don't know, little weeper there. It'll close up with some cold water. But that was it. I might clean up this goatee a little bit, and then, or the Van Dyke, and then a cold water splash. I'll be right back for aftershave. All right, I'm back. Thanks for sticking with me. Got the matching splash here, the A&E. This is actually the original splash slot. They still got, I don't know, a third of a bottle left. Does anyone else have that happen to them? I always end up having more aftershave than soap. Like leftover. Like when I'm halfway done with the tub of soap, I have more than half of the aftershave left. And I feel like I go pretty heavy on the aftershave usage. And yet, I kind of heard it depends on if you scoop or if you tub lather. It seems that people that tub lather end up having more soap left at the end than aftershave, versus scoopers end up running through their soap more. Does that make sense? Maybe? I don't know. I doubt it's like even across the board. There, I got like one little spot right here. There we go. It's such a perfect shave, I didn't want to leave that one little spot there. No burn on that at all. I got that one little weeper there closed up with the cold water. My impression of the Ambassador has not changed. It is still, I don't know, something about the geometry. It's so close. It's so efficient. Like my cheeks are super smooth, my neck's super smooth. And I still repeat, or I still maintain that I probably couldn't shave with this again tomorrow without risking some kind of irritation there. It's just so efficient for me, for my skin. It's like the max level of efficiency I can handle. So I would need like a day. Either if I would shave tomorrow, I'd either use another razor like the Henson or something, or the Winning, or I just wouldn't shave for a day before I use the Ambassador again. That's how I have to run it anyways. But that was a shave. I hope you liked it. L'Orange Verte, fantastic stuff. I really like it. One of my favorite A&E scents. There's no EDP or anything for that. It's just the scent by itself, and still really good. He's got some new stuff coming out soon too. He's been working on a soap for an Italian barbershop. Not a barbershop scent. I'm not sure what the scent notes are. I don't think he's said on the post, but it's coming out in like a glass jar and special packaging and everything. It was for a barber who owns and works and operates a barbershop. So there's gonna be a whole line, but it's gonna be available on the A&E site as well, I believe. So that looks pretty cool. And that's the shave. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you think. And I'll see you next time. I hope you guys had a good week and a good weekend.